Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to the channel. My name is Hannah, the banana, the meme lord. Well, only certain people can call me that. And by certain people, I mean me sometimes when I'm alone and looking in the mirror. But that's beside the point. That's not what we're here to talk about. Sorry, I seem a little, low energy. This has just been on my mind for a long time. And I'm sick of it. I've technically already talked about this on my channel, but I'm going to either privatize or unlist that video because I don't want to completely delete it. I don't regret what I said, but I feel like I can say it better now that I've had a little more time. And so I'm going to try to do that now. The whole reason I even made the first video doesn't matter. None of that matters. The only thing that matters is what happened, how she made me feel, and how I have to deal with that now. I'm talking about this person named B. That's the nickname I'm giving her. Obviously not her real name. We're calling her B, which is short for bitch because she's a bitch. So B and I were best friends ever since she was 3 years old and I was 4. And we were friends for a good 16, almost 17 years. Maybe a little longer. My math is not the best. Throughout that whole time, from the very beginning, it was always a very toxic relationship. Like, people will say, people that we knew growing up, because we went to school pre-K through 12 together. So we knew each other for a long time. Our friendship was very public. Everybody knew about it. You know, talked about it in school, blah, 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 all that bullshit. So she always was stuck up my ass. And I mean in a way that she wouldn't let anybody else near me. If I had other friends hanging out with me at my birthday party or whatever, she would glare at them when I wasn't looking and then lie to me, pretend that they were being mean to her, say that whatever reason they were being mean to her, she wanted to be with me by ourselves. That happened every time I had a party and she was there, which was every time I had a party. Every function, every birthday party that I had, this girl was there, because if I didn't invite her, like, it would have been the end of the world. She would, make her own schedules for my birthday parties. She's very controlling of me, or she was. I don't talk to her. I cut her off. Almost a year ago, exactly, actually. Be a year on this Valentine's Day. Yeah, she's controlling. She would make sure that I didn't want to talk to anybody else because she would make me think bad things about them, make me think that they don't like me, or make me think that they're mean to her for some reason, so I have to avoid them, or she would isolate me, is what I'm saying. She isolated me my whole life because she wanted me for herself. She wanted me to be her friend, and she wanted to be able to latch on to me and nobody else could come anywhere near me because she wanted me for herself. I don't know why. She was always talking about, like, I'm jealous of you because you did this, and I'm like, well, I didn't mean to do that to you. I didn't do anything to hurt you on purpose. She would gaslight me before I think she even knew what gaslighting was. She's a master manipulator, and she has been since she was a child, which is what concerned me. Okay, when I was her friend, I didn't know everything I knew now. All I knew is that sometimes she made me feel bad and she was mean to me all the time, but that I was her only friend. I was the only one that she cared about, according to her. She told me all the time, like, I can't lose you. You're the only person I've got. My family is terrible. I can't be without you, you know, like, she basically put the pressure on my shoulders that I felt like I had the responsibility to take care of her, so I did. I would buy her food, I would take her to school, I would drive her around, I would give her advice, I would pay for things for her, I would take her to the movies, buy her lots of food. She basically took advantage of me. Before I had money, she took advantage of me for attention and emotional attention. I don't know. She would want attention whether it was positive or negative. She would pick fights with people, not just me. She would pick fights with everybody. She was rude to everybody else, but she had a special certain focus on me. And I don't know why, but for some reason she was obsessed with me, and I thought that it was innocent. The entire time I was never afraid of her. Looking back, I probably should have been, because not only was she mean to me, she actually threatened me multiple times. She threatened herself multiple times. You know how if you're dating someone like Onision and you try to break up with them, they're like, okay, well, if you do that, I'm gonna kill myself. If I would even fight with her, if I wasn't even fighting with her, if I was just speaking to her and saying like, dude, look, B, what you're doing is hurting my feelings, or you're being rude to other people, or you're just hurting yourself in this situation, she would go ballistic, throw a fucking fit, make a big scene out of it, make sure everybody knew about it, go around talking to everybody about how much she hates me and how we're not friends anymore. And of course I would just be like, yeah, she just got mad again. Give her a few more hours. She'll be fine. I just dealt with it. I rolled with the punches. As a matter of fact, I put myself on the back burner for the entirety of my childhood up until my early adulthood, just so I could take care of her. And I was dealing with my own shit at home and outside of home that I just never addressed, never talked about, never got helped for, nothing, ever. Because it was never bad enough. I never had it as bad as she did. If I ever tried to speak to her about something that was bothering me, she would be like, how dare you talk about your problems, wait till you hear mine, and turn it into about her. Every birthday party she had, she would, you know, have to make sure everybody was all eyes on her. She wants to be the star of the show. She is very much a musical theater person, but I honestly think the only reason she even likes acting and theater so much is because her entire life is an act. All she's doing is acting. Acting like she has empathy. Acting like she gives a shit. Acting like she actually cares about what she's saying and how that impacts other people. Because her actions speak louder than her words do in her monologues. Okay? And I'm saying this directly to you, sweetheart. You don't fool anybody. We all had suspicions about you. We all had a bad feeling about you. We just never addressed it to you because we didn't want to set you off. You're one of those people that would definitely come to school with a knife and try to hurt people, okay? We were scared of you. It's not because people don't believe me and they think you're nice. Okay, we were all afraid of you. We all talked about how we dealt with you, how we had to deal with you. Like, oh, if we bring B to so-and-so event, we're going to have to do this and this, because if we try to get in her way with whatever she wants to do, she will go ballistic. We've always had to tiptoe around you. We passed you off like a toddler that we had to babysit. We would take turns, literally shifts, on, all right, so who's taking care of her today? And if you don't believe me, go ahead and ask the person that you think has your back. I didn't bring this up in my last video, But we had a mutual friend that I don't really think is my friend anymore, because when I told him about everything that B did, he just basically brushed me off. He said, I don't want to hear it. A few months later, I was like, okay, I need to talk to you about this. This is what happened. And he said, well, I don't believe it. So he hasn't hung out with me or talked to me really since. I've tried to reach out to him and he's nice to me, but yeah, we've all had to take care of you, including him. And if you don't believe me, ask him. Talk about middle school, high school, every trip we went on where we had to babysit you and take care of you and console you, because there was always something wrong, no matter where or when or what was going on. There was always something wrong with you, and you always had to be consoled about something. I'm trying not to make this video too long because my last one was extremely long, so I'm trying to cut it down and get to just the important parts. So back to the whole reason that B and I fell out. So far, I've just been talking about everything I put up with. This is all the stuff I dealt with over the years. This is, you know, stuff that I didn't think twice about. I really made excuses for her. I cared for her, so I was like, that's just how she is. She can't help it. That's just how she is, so I just have to put up with it and help her. And I did. Without complaint. I did everything for you. I'm so sorry, my nose is... Hold on, give me a moment. That's gonna sound gross. I'm gonna love editing that part. Fucking shit. So when we were 8th graders, that's when she started really spiraling out of control. Up until then, it was mostly innocent. There was a time when we were very young where she had taken me and kissed me. We were in elementary school and I thought we were just playing around. I think that was the spark that ignited her fire. In 8th grade, we had a friend that had started going down the wrong path, started doing drugs, and she would follow along with that. She would participate and go do illegal activities like climbing to the roof of the mall. She got me in trouble for that because she wanted me to do that with her. So she was like, oh, come on, let's go do it. And we did, and we got caught, and we got in trouble. But for some reason, she started going nuts this year. I don't know why. But there was one time when she was showing me this game called Corpse Party. I don't know if you guys might know about it. It's a popular thing. If you don't know about it and you'd like to, you can just search it on YouTube because it's pretty cool. But she would like compare us to 2 characters in the game, Naomi and Seiko. And one of them kills the other one by hanging her in a bathroom. And she's like, I want to do that to you. She said that to me out of her own mouth. She has, since we have cut ties, she has denied that. But while we were friends, she never denied that she said that. She would always apologize for it if it ever got brought up. She would hate it if I brought it up. As a matter of fact, she would get angry every time, of course, because she can do no wrong. Queen bee, she wishes. That was the first threat. She'd started physically hitting me in school. Nobody did anything about it. Then she went away for a little while to inpatient facility. And I stopped being friends with her because my mom knew that she was abusing me and said, if you go around her and she hits you one more time, I'm gonna have to go to jail. You know how mamas be. And I don't blame her, honey. I would do the same for my kid. So after that, we eventually, became friends again after like a few weeks, I don't know. Still middle school, still 8th grade. Since then, I didn't trust her. After she started doing that, I stopped trusting her. So all through high school, I started getting more distant from her, and she knew that. I was in a very bad relationship with this guy, and after he finally broke up with me, that was like the closest I'd been to her in a long time, and she was like really happy with me at that point because I was at my lowest. That was the most miserable I've ever been in my entire life, and that was when she was the closest to me, so she like leached off of my energy. She would even say, "I'm sucking your soul out." There were many, many things she did on a regular basis, little comments that were just wildly inappropriate, gaslighting, manipulative. But the last thing she did that really got to me before I found out the truth was on my 20th birthday. She was in another state taking care of her cousins for her family, and she was happy to be there. It was her favorite place to be. She had no reason to be upset, but of course she was upset because I was nowhere near her. I finally didn't have to go deal with her asking to hang out all the time, every day. Not every day, but she would ask to hang out a lot because she could feel that she was losing her grip on me and she was trying to get it back. But it makes my skin crawl thinking about it. She, on my 20th birthday, called me while I was in the middle of opening up my presents to tell me that she had swallowed a bottle of pills, but that she didn't mean to actually hurt herself. She wasn't planning on doing anything. She only did it, I don't know. But I knew I didn't actually want to hurt myself. I just did it. But she threw it up, and her cousin caught her. Her small cousin caught her vomiting up pills after she had a suicide attempt. And then she called me on the phone just to tell me about it in the middle of my birthday party. She just needed a fucking reason to be upset on my birthday. She needed a reason for me to be giving her attention. Because she can't stand for anyone else to be getting attention, especially me. She hated it. She would compare herself to me all the time, and I would tell her to stop. I hated it. She'd be like, "You're so much skinnier than me. You're so much prettier than me. I hated it. I'm so jealous of you." I'm like, don't be. You are beautiful. You're a beautiful person, inside and out. I love the way you look. I would hit on her all the time. I meant it as a joke. I would try to boost her self-esteem. I did everything I could. I gave her hour-long rants of advice, just trying to help her feel better for years. But the reason I finally cut ties with her is because when I was in college, I found out from another mutual friend that for years, B had been saying multiple times how she was in love with me. She was obsessed with me. She wanted to have sex with me. She thought about it all the time. Other disturbing and disgusting, overtly sexual and inappropriate things. She knew I was not interested in her. I had made that clear time and time again. Like I just said previously, I know I hit on her. I always meant it as a joke, and she knew that. I made it clear. I'm the type of person that doesn't beat around the bush. I hate it when people do that. If I have something to say, I will say it loud and clear, and I'll keep saying it until you get it. That's why I'm making this video again, because I want to word it better than I did the first time. Look, I found out that this girl had said she wanted to rape me and kill me. We had made a little promise that I thought was a joke, but apparently she took it seriously. that if we weren't married by the time we were 35, that we would marry each other. She said if that ended up not happening, she'd just have to kill my husband, rape me, and kill me too. She said that for years, multiple times, not just to this one mutual friend, but to at least 10 people over the span of at least 5 years, that she had this intention and she wanted to do these things to me, with me, and without my consent. So, last year on Valentine's Day, I confronted her with this information, and of course, all she did was deny it. She just said, well, I don't really like you anyway, I never did. I always look at my phone when you message me, and I'm like, why is this bitch texting me? Now, I know it's difficult to portray exactly the dynamic that we had, but if there's anybody out here watching this who knew me and has seen me with her and how she acted towards me, it's like she was a puppy and I had a piece of steak right here at all times, and she was right on my heels. She was never satisfied with me. All she wanted, quote unquote, according to her, was me, but I always upset her. She just wanted somebody to control. She just wanted somebody to be there, to be her punching bag, to be her whipping boy that wouldn't leave her side, to be always loyal. This ain't it, Chief. It ain't for me. I had to dip. She has since, and her family have posted about me, talking about me. And I don't really mind any of that, because I don't care what people think about me. The only thing I care about is that I'm still struggling with all this, and that I'm still so angry about it. She never got justice, and I just want to beat a bitch up. I want to hit that hoe. I want to hit her so bad, but I can't do that. And I'm trying to learn how to let go. So I'm hoping that by doing this video again, maybe it'll help me let her go. I never made any of this up. I never wanted to believe it at first. That's the reason nobody told me while I was in high school. They were all scared to tell me because I stuck up for her. I really did care for her. I loved her. I did everything with her. We had concerts together where we did duets in front of audiences and held hands. We held hands walking up the aisle together when we graduated high school. We were inseparable, and I really did love her as my friend. It just was never good enough for her. All I know is that I did everything I could, but I couldn't take it anymore. So I just wanted to put this video out there to put my thoughts out of my body, get this demon out of my chest. I don't want to see her in my dreams anymore. And maybe there's somebody out there that has another story that's similar to this, and you'll know you're not alone. I plan on making more YouTube videos, and the next ones won't be as serious or as this one, I'm normally a funny person, but this is just a heavy topic. So if you like the video, like the video. If you like me, subscribe.
Yeah, that's my team. Sound with my thug, right? Sound with my thug, right? Sound with my thug, right? Smash on the street, smash on the street. Ay. When I cruising down there, midport, 내 친구들과 비행기 타고. Every day I'm so turned up with my boys. Every day I'm so turned up with my dog. Yeah.